Hi, my name is Harris. I'm one of your podcast hosts. I'm also a lawyer at Treadstone Law. For most Canadians, buying, selling, or refinancing real estate, a lawyer is the last thing on their mind. That's unfortunate because lawyers play a vital role in the process. But what choices do Canadians have? Lawyers can be very expensive. Well, Treadstone Law offers resources to Canadians so they have access to the information they need. Whether you sign up for a live workshop or a mailing list, we cover topics to help you make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. It's advice you can start using today, and best of all, it's free. Visit treadstonelaw.ca/MAS offer or click the link below to get access right now. If you're looking to retain Treadstone Law, it's never been easier. Our entire process is online. From completing the retainer agreement to your signing appointment, everything is done from the comfort of your own home. We're your digital lawyers. The best part of it is that you don't pay anything when you're retaining our firm. Visit treadstonelaw.ca/MAS offer or click on the link below to retain us right now. Enjoy the podcast. Welcome to another episode of Hustle and Grit. Today on our podcast, we have Sonny Kashyap. Sonny is currently with eXp Realty, one of the world's largest brokerages with over 85,000 agents in almost 22 countries. He has an MBA in marketing and a master's in finance. He has been a real estate broker for over 20 years, and he's also been a mortgage broker for 13 years and oversees a private investor group. Sonny is not just a realtor, but also coaches other realtors on how to start, establish, and grow their business. Welcome to the podcast, Sonny.
Hi, how are you, Harris? How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. You know what? I looked at a little bit of like your career on LinkedIn, and you've got a very rich career. There's a lot that you've done, and it's all in real estate. To just kick things off, can you give us what made you get into, or give the listeners what made you get into real estate and kind of your journey through it to get to where you are today?
Absolutely, Harris. Yeah. So basically, getting into real estate has been an interesting journey. I was influenced and well influenced by my mother, who was in real estate for over 15 years. And basically, I started off my career in residential commercial real estate, and then I went to building a small team. After that, I opened a Century 21 brokerage, which was a great learning experience and a lot of good insight that happened. And then after that, I was a real estate manager for managing 300 agents for residential and commercial real estate. Now I'm at eXp Realty with 45 team members and growing. We're actually one of the largest real estate brokerages in the world, over 85,000 agents, like you mentioned, in about 22 countries. So it's a very big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you said that you started when your mom was in real estate, and I'm kind of going right to the beginning, was she a realtor? Was she an investor? Was she like a mortgage broker? How was she in real estate, and how'd she pull you in?
Yeah, so basically, she was a residential realtor, and being young, I picked up a lot of tips and tricks from her, and it helped out from a foundational level to really build things up and then take off. I started with commercial and residential both, but it was a great experience being influenced by her and still having her overseeing and sort of giving me feedback regularly after 20 years of being in the business. It's still grateful to have, your family beside you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of the best professionals are professionals who, not to knock anyone who started themselves, that's good too, but when you have somebody in the family who's teaching you at a younger age, you're learning at a much younger age. And as you move along, start refining those skills at a pretty early age. So what do you think was one of the biggest things that she taught you? Like, was it negotiation? Was it setting up a house? What was the aspect that she really got you to focus in on and help you refine?
Yeah, so I just feel that back then things were a lot manual
Mm,
type of work. So we learned foundational skills from our family to
yeah.
help stay disciplined, have a good strong work ethic, and really have a really good work ethic and good discipline in life in general, right?
Yeah.
And just to look back then and to see my parents or my mother um, doing everything manually, and now we sort of think of things, take it as granted. We have computers and we have programs that do everything, and they had to. There was three forms. I still remember looking at it. They were pink, yellow, and beige, and they were legal size forms, and just filling everything out manually. I had learned how to fill it out at a young age, but it was just now that you look back at things, things have really evolved. But yeah, so to answer your question, the discipline and work ethic, and really the direction.
And so then when you went through that history, how did you kind of go into get into coaching? What was your kind of move from just being a realtor to kind of, I would say, giving back in a sense and helping other realtors figure out how to run their business?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's when I opened my the Century 21 brokerage, when I started realizing I wanted to help people out to grow their business and help them scale it. And really, just a passion, and I really love helping realtors succeed and grow their business, whatever their goals may be. Some of them have goals of generating more deals and making more money. So others have a lot of business and they scale their business. They want to build a team. They want to think something like have showing agents, have ISAs, independent inside sales agents, virtual assistants, scalability tools to help them have a work-life balance. A lot of us realtors, we work very hard, but we don't know how to balance. So if we can help them out to experienced agents to scale their business and basically diversify their life so they can work-life balance,
Yeah.
or if it's a newer agent, we can help them to fill their pipeline, grow their leads, and then scrub the leads. So to make sure that the follow up is under control. As you know, Harris, that follow up is important in any
Mm,
business,
mm.
and definitely in our real estate business.
No, I mean, and this is kind of yeah a sidetrack there, but I definitely believe that the money is in the follow up. Is what I tell
Hmm.
anybody who wants like advice. It's like who makes a decision the first time they see anything, right? The first time they see something,
Hmm.
they're kind of getting to know you. They have to kind of really understand you, know who you are, and it takes time. And I think it's like the statistics is what it's like 80% of closers are between like 5 and 12 touch points. So it's like it's all in the follow up. You can't just expect somebody to look at you and give you business. Um,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. And whoever is in front of the client or the
Mm,
customer's face is going to enjoy the meal. So if we're not in front of the customer's face regularly and we're not staying on top of the mind in front of them, then other realtors will grab the food away from you, or other competition. So if you want to be successful and close more business, you got to perfect your follow up and use good tools like good strong CRM, good automated text SMS campaigns, and other follow-up tools, along with, picking up the phone and obviously chatting with them. There's nothing superior than a phone call, except for a face-to-face meeting and an in-person meeting, of course.
So if I'm a realtor and I want to work with you, what's the journey? How's it like working with you and your brokerage? If I'm depending on whatever size I am, whatever my background is, what is it like to just start up with you?
Absolutely, yeah. So we help realtors grow and scale their business in the sense, depending on their goals, we customize or tailor a plan in place to implement and get them to the next level. So some examples would be if a realtor came along and they were brand new or they were a part-time or newer realtor, we would help them out with lead generation, lead scrubbing, and teaching them how to generate leads. It's one thing to give them leads and let them just work it, but we wouldn't want to hold them back in their career. We want them to learn everything and photocopy so they can be successful. If it's the experienced realtor, We would help them with other things like systems, ISAs, VAs, automation, and other cool things to help them grow their business. What makes this a lot different, to answer your question, is that we're one of the largest brokerages in the world. As we said earlier, it's a very big deal to have over 85,000 agents in about 22 countries, and we pride ourselves on working as a family together. We do have 4 or 5 streams of income, but we can get into that when you like.
Oh man, go sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. I just didn't want to.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, there's 4 or 5 streams of income. We all work as real estate brokers or sales representatives,
Yeah,
and it's obviously the self-employed income. So we do deals and get paid,
yeah,
and that's where our normal brokerage stops at. They might provide with a little pinch of support, a little bit of training, but ultimately they're just a platform to process your payroll and your paychecks and do a little bit of compliance. Where we're a lot different is there's obviously self-employed income, so we close deals. Obviously, if
mm-hmm.
not, we wouldn't be
Yeah,
successful realtors, right? There's investment income number two, so we can buy the company stock at a 10% discount, and we also get free shares for being here. We're all shareholders in the company and owners together through the equity standpoint of the model, the investment income. Number three is the passive income. So, I mean, we all want to eventually tap into passive income, whereas we can really have a balanced life. So we have the revenue share model, which they get money in their bank account every single month for just helping and sharing the opportunity with others. Um, and that I think is very, very good, because us realtors sometimes in the winter months, I guess all businesses have slow seasons, but typically in the winter and these type of months, it's much slower. So if we are getting money coming in 12 months of the year, it's really helpful, right?
yeah,
Number four, we have the lead generating income. So who doesn't want more leads, and who doesn't want to make more money and close more deals? We all do, regardless of the industry, right?
yeah,
And especially in real estate, it's a numbers game. So we have to work the numbers game of generating leads. And we have a full business plan, either to teach you how to generate leads, or to share some leads with you. Sharing leads with you is good because we want you to do well immediately, but teaching you the actual skill of how to generate the leads, where to generate them, and really making use of it. And we're going to put you through a full coaching and mentorship program. And people have paid up to 30,000 for this type of coaching and mentorship in the past, and you'll get it. They'll get it for free. And number five is the fifth stream of income is the networking. So as we have over 85,000 agents in 22 countries, so they'll get to network. And I think personally, that's a very big deal when you can network, because you can get a handful of deals just from the networking component.
but
We treat our team members like family.
yeah,
So it's not like you're just a number or corporate. We're all business partners together in this. So your success is our success, and our success is yours. And it's in our best interest to get you basically to copycat everything we did right and photocopy all of our success, so we can make you that way, and then you can pay it forward to others
yeah.
as you introduce the opportunity.
Yeah, no, and I feel like networking, at least to me, if when I'm from a legal perspective, and the same thing is with realtors, I'd imagine, and most other service professionals, that when you have a huge network that you can tap into, and you can see how other people are doing things, there is people are more open, because a broker in like another country does not necessarily see you as competition. They see you as assistants, and you get to see how they're working and what's working in their markets that may have not touched your market, that you can bring into that market. And just whether it's lead generation, how you're closing, how deals are structured, all of that can be shared. So that is something that I
Mhm.
always find, like, it's invaluable, because if you're kind of in a cocoon, it's difficult to figure things out. And I feel like a lot, and maybe I'm wrong, and I don't have a decent experience in terms of getting into how real estate brokerages work, but I do feel like with most brokerages, real estate or more service professionals, I'll put it that way, there isn't a lot of training on how you build a relationship with your leads. Not necessarily like your relationship with a specific client, but your relationship with how leads are generated, how leads are converted into clients. Because people will go out, and I've seen this time and time again, where they'll go out and they'll spend money in social media, they'll hire marketing guys, but they can't close anything, and it's somebody else's fault. But there's even if you have the best guys who are doing your marketing, you have all the leads in the world. If you don't know what to do with it, it's not going anywhere.
It's so true. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, so basically, I mean, again, with any type of lead in any industry, we're a service-based industry, right?
Yeah,
So of course we have research and we have inventory and we have comparables and etc. I guess it's the product and somewhat is the comparables and the properties, but end of the day, we're a service business, so we need to make sure our clients are treated like VIP.
yeah,
Full stop, regardless. It doesn't matter. And you know the old model, like they say, the customer is always right and the customer is always first. Um, so it's, I think it's applicable in any business. And in this case, the realtor is our client. So
yeah,
they are our VIP client. And as we treat them with respect and love and like family, they're going to push that back on their client and treat them like respect and love and family, right?
yeah,
So I just feel that realtors, they just to be totally straightforward and frank with you, that realtors, I think they take their job very liberally in the sense there's a huge upside of making $10,000, $15,000
yeah,
in compensation, which is very good. But they take it very liberally in the sense they sometimes don't take action right away. They don't provide service immediately. They don't do due diligence and research. They don't use a lot of the technology to leverage their skills. They like, I mean, you have to change your way
yeah.
if you want to get ahead. There's a lot of competition out there. What makes this any different, right?
Yeah, but what makes what? Why do you think that is? Though, when you say that they take their job very liberally, and I'm assuming when you say liberally, it's because if you look at Ontario, half of realtors are doing 1 to 0 deals a year. So,
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
is it worth it going through that entire process of getting your license and then paying all those fees to do 0 to 1 deals a year? I don't know. But why do you think that realtors are taking it liberally? Is it because they don't know any better? They don't know where to go, what to do, or do you think that there's something else there? Maybe they don't want to. Like, what may, is something that you think is the reason that's making them do it? Because I think if somebody taught me, how to close 10 deals a year, there's no reason why I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, so to answer that, basically, just to share frankly, I think that realtors, they take it liberally because their foundational skills are not solid, in the sense they have to make sure that there's some good coaching and mentorship and training in place that's going to take them to the next level of service. Anybody can go on MLS and anybody can pull a report. There's no
Yeah,
secrets in that, right? The secret is that how can we think outside of the box? How can we make sure to get creative in the sense of providing solutions to our clients or realtors, and really just sorry to be straightforward here, but just stop being lazy, right? I
yeah,
mean, like, I mean, there's word of mouth and there's referrals that happen, and if we don't take care of our clients, like, I mean, I joke about this with our colleagues and our business partners all the time, and I say that we're doctors, we're psychiatrists, we're this or that, we're follow-uppers, we have comparables, we have showings, we have research. There's a lot of hats um, working for yourself. So when you work together as a family, I think that things can happen a lot better than working alone. And a good example of this is that I have numerous seven-figure earners on my team and in my network as my business partners, and a lot of people envy them, and a lot of people of our a lot of agents get jealous of them and say, oh well, they make seven figures, it just came by luck, right?
Mm.
Well, in business there's no
Yeah.
luck, right?
Yeah.
If you use your CRM and you follow up and you set face-to-face meetings, and you do research and you make professional presentations and you do your comparables, you always give them options. You never force anyone to do anything. You give them two or three or four options and let them decide.
Yeah.
Ultimately, our client has to make the decision, right? So we cannot make any decision. We're just the middleman pushing from left to right, so to speak, right? So they have to make a decision. So it's our job to guide them and give them information and keep them well informed so they can make the right decision.
Yeah, no, I mean, when when you just said that it's luck, I started to laugh because I feel like doing one deal a year is luck. Seven figures is not luck.
There's no luck in it. Yeah. So I mean, it's a fact that the Toronto Real Estate Board has a statistic that the average realtor does 0 to 4 deals a year. So you're right
Wow.
on, Harris, when you said that, right?
Wow.
It's a sad statistic. It's because there's over 85,000 agents just in Toronto, the Greater Toronto area. So what makes us any different? Is it our service? Is it our knowledge? Is it our experience? Is it our like I have one seven-figure earner on my team, well, numerous of them, but one of them, he basically tells me, and I'm very keen to hear what he taught me the other day. He said he sets up a WhatsApp group just for them. And if he is hearing this, his name is Vishal, and he might start laughing now. But he sets up a WhatsApp group for the customer. He tells them, call me between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning, because that's when I'm available to socialize with you. Um, and I mean, it doesn't matter how you do things, as long as you follow through. That's all that matters. He right away after talking to the person immediately, the first thing he does is say, "It was a pleasure chatting with you. Let's go ahead and set up a needs or requirements call. Do you prefer Zoom or in person?" That's his plan of action to
Yeah.
take action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you prefer a Zoom call or do you prefer an in-person meeting? What's better for you? Let's book the time and date right now.
Yeah.
He books it, he implements it, and nobody's going to do business with you unless they trust you and they feel comfortable with you, and you build that loyalty and you build that goodwill between the client or the customer. Sorry,
Yeah. Yeah. And
no one's doing business with you if
yeah.
not. And secondly, no one's gonna to make a purchase without meeting you a handful of times. They're not spending
Yeah.
$1 million and they're just gonna do it on a phone and an email,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Or
Yeah.
on a computer. So and secondly, no one is going to buy a property unless they're showing. So I mean, sometimes I joke and say that it's common sense. You would think that realtors do showings, but you'll be very surprised, Harris, that a lot of the realtors don't push for showings and they don't push for face-to-face meetings, and then they start wondering why they're not making money, right?
Oh, really? So when you say, can you dive on?
And
That's something
I
I
know
don't
you're gonna
know.
laugh. It's
So when they say they don't want to do showings, like, what do you mean? Like, they just want to put in an offer through pictures?
So I feel that they're just scared of rejection,
Yeah.
and they're nervous sometimes to meet people. And until we meet them and we do face-to-face meetings and showings,
Yeah.
and during COVID, there's always ways. You can wear a mask, you can keep 6 feet
Yeah. Yeah.
distance, you can do virtual showings. Just got to think outside the box. But a lot of people are afraid of rejection, and they're fearing some. There's a underlying fear that's in their mind that we have to basically get that out of them. And I laugh and I joke sometimes that we got to detox their mind
Yeah.
to sort of get that fear out of them. And the reason they have that underlying fear or that feeling inside their mind or their brain, I feel that it's foundational that they don't have enough training and coaching and mentorship and
Mm.
support, and they're not confident. So you look at a successful seven-figure earner. What skills do they? They have strong follow-up skills. They have very above average closing negotiation
Yeah.
skills. they have above average skills to really coach the client and take control of the sales cycle from start to finish,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that confidence came from them closing deals and making money.
yeah, yeah.
When they close the deal, and it's regardless if we got paid $1,000 or $10,000, whatever it may be, I think that confidence came from practice, right?
Yeah.
So we have to practice to become perfect. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, and I feel like good negotiations are once you might be afraid of them, but when you're good at it and you're confident, like you said, you really start enjoying it at that time. And and
Hmm.
and one of the things that when you just said like you need above average negotiating skills with a successful professional, I mean, I've had brokers who are now complaining, okay, because whereas before when the market was heated, they put up a house and in like 24 hours they got like 70 offers, and now
Hmm.
it's taking them 3 weeks to get offers in. And I'm like, I'm thinking, and I don't mean to offend any brokers there, it's like, now you got to do your job, right? Because
That's
negotiating a
true. Yeah.
sale is not about, you know what, let me just pick which one it is. It's like what you just
Hmm.
said. It's more of you have to be a psychologist. There's so many people. You got to understand what your client is. You got to manage them. You got to manage the other broker. You also have to understand the broker's client and get some information as much as you can and try to get a solution that will help everyone and come to a win-win situation so that everybody's happy. There is no lose-win or anything lose-lose, none of that. There's a win-win, but only the best negotiators can get that win-win.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Negotiation is very important, but also to add on to the point that we just made is that you're totally right. There was a hot market, and basically the realtors just got on the surfboard and they sort of just surfed it
Yeah,
up and down in the water there, and they got a the sort of called, so to speak, free ride. They got a free ride. That's what they had, right? So now the real skills are going to come out. Is the only way to sell a property is to increase your marketing.
yeah,
Um, and if the marketing is not increased, whether it may be social media or Google pay per click or paid Facebook ads, I'm sure you agree with me that everyone is online now. And even my father, who's in his 70s, is online, and he uses Google for everything, right?
yeah,
Um, and this morning he asked me, it was a funny joke that happened, but I want to share it with you, is that he said this phone is not working. It's not working. I said, well, let's check the Wi-Fi and see if you're connected. He said, I don't know all this. It's too fancy for me. But I got him back on the Wi-Fi, and he was fine. I think it was just some sort of something had happened. So then he was fine. And then the first thing he did is went to Google and started putting things on there. So the point of the conversation is that if we do not increase our marketing and be different from other realtors, then we're going to fall within the same statistic of 0 to 4 deals, and not being successful. We need to increase our marketing. We need to increase our social media presence. We need to be better than other people. Whereas, we can sort of grab business from others, and we teach a lot of these tricks in our real life coaching and mentorship, and our role play training.
yeah. No, I have nothing to add to that. I mean, I really agree with every single thing that you're saying, because I do feel like there's just and in being a real estate lawyer, I am in the last leg of this entire process, and you can tell, and I can tell the difference between good professionals and bad professionals by the level of peace and confidence the clients have by the time they get to my end, because the realtors already spent enough time with them, and if they're spending quality time, and you have to spend quality time, um,
Mhm.
they come to me in a more confident and ready to sign situation, where if the realtor hasn't spent enough time, they're going to have a lot of questions, they're antsy, and even though the realtor may have gotten that close, and this is what to me boggles my mind, you've spent so much time with these individuals, you should be turning them into brand ambassadors for who you are, right? They should, like, next Thanksgiving dinner when everybody's at home, they're not talking about that new home, they're talking about who got them that home. And you can only
Hmm.
do that if you're good with the negotiations, you're good with just setting up, building that relationship, and making sure you're
Hmm.
available and all of that, so that by the end, you've got somebody who's promoting you, letting you know that, hey,
Hmm.
listen, or letting others know, their network know that this is the person for me. And it all comes down to marketing. Again, like I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I feel like people in general, and I'm not gonna like limit it just to brokers, real estate brokers. I feel like a lot of service professionals um, don't understand what marketing is all about, because marketing has changed so much in the last 15, 20 years, right? Like,
Hmm.
before, you could go to a few networking events, shake hands, it was all about your network. That's not what it is anymore. Between like 2010, 2013, social media blew up. So now that is the way to capture attention. And if you go and shake hands with somebody, by the time they get home, they're gonna forget who you are. So
So true. Yeah.
you got to follow up, like you're saying. So I
Yep.
100% agree. But I want
And I mean, if you
to,
give your card out, there's no point of giving your card out. If you're not going to get their information first,
yeah,
then don't bother giving your card out. Just don't waste time with all that. Um, get whenever you like. We always say this is fun, but it's there's truth there in fun. Is that if you're gonna talk to someone, you need their number.
yeah,
If you don't have their name and number, and how I do it usually is I usually don't. I have my card on me, but I never give my card ever. Do you have a card? Wonderful. What's your name and number? Let me enter it on my cell phone. I'll give you a missed call.
yeah,
I get their name and number. The reason is if I don't have your name and number, there's no point giving that card out. And there's no point even
yeah,
wasting time doing that because you can't follow up. If
yeah.
you can't follow up, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've got. I'll be frank with you. I've got like a stack of printed cards that are probably printed like 5, 6 years ago, and I've just stopped giving them out. They just sit there because all I do, what you're kind of saying, like I get their call number and I'll get their email address, right? And once you have your email,
Yes.
now you're contacting them, and they'll remember you. Nobody kind of says anymore, hey, who's that person that, like, what's like, let me get their card. Like, nobody has Rolodexes anymore, right? They
Mhm.
have like your email or wherever, your phone, where you're going to go and search that person's name, and when they pop up, you're like, oh, there's their information. But you need to have that information. You can't wait on them. So
Oh yeah. So like I mean, like you said earlier, like we agree mutually is that um, there's a since 2010 things have changed drastically, right? So if we're not going to make that extra effort to build that relationship, build that goodwill, and make them ambassadors of helping to push our services,
yeah,
and make them like someone that has fallen in love with your service and your knowledge and your experience. Um, then I think that it's just we're gonna have to change ourselves, but because change equals growth, and if we don't change, we're not going to be able to grow in our business. So we need to change ourselves.
yeah, and I was talking to this is a mortgage broker friend of mine the other day. I was like, you know what, like, people don't want to market, or they don't know how to market, but now is the best time to market. There's a time before you have to put a billboard up, and how much is that going to cost? Or you're going to, like, get on a bus, or you're going to send out mail. Now, how much does an email cost? How long does it take to, like, record something for TikTok, or like send something out on your phone? Like, this is so cost effective, right? And there's
Hmm.
so many tools out there that it almost becomes like there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it, because all of this stuff could be automated and you could be reaching so many people, and the ones who are the ones who are making the six figures, because it's very possible.
Oh yeah, majority of my business partners are six-figure earners, and we do have people who are five-figure earners. And our goal from immediately is to get them to six figures and seven figures.
Mm,
Um, and like you said, Harris, like I mean, social media is free. I just don't understand why we're not using it. Um, Even if it's just a simple, small little post, nothing fancy. Um, a lot of realtors or even business people in general are so concerned about generating leads. Oh, I want to generate 50 leads a month. Oh, I want to generate 100 leads a month. But they don't realize it's not about generating 100 leads or 50 leads. If you had 100 leads, what would you do with them? You wouldn't be able to follow up with all of them. You wouldn't be able to scrub them, as we say in our business language. You wouldn't be able to work them. So, in my personal opinion, nobody needs more than one lead a day, which is 30 leads a month. And you should be able to close one deal with 30 leads
Yeah.
easily, because working it properly, like talking to them, following up weekly, updating your CRM notes, meeting them face to face. Really, if you want to become like with family with them, you need to work them
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. And it's persistence, because a lot of people will hear a naive salesperson. And when I say sales, anybody, again, in professional, whether you're a lawyer, you're a mortgage broker, or a realtor, when somebody says no, they mistake that for a no. When no sometimes or often enough means, I just don't want to talk with you right now. I'm not comfortable with you.
Mhm,
So you just got to
mhm.
get them to the comfort level, so where they kind of move to a yes, and they open up and have conversations. But
Absolutely, yeah. No just means that it means maybe. It doesn't mean no.
yeah, no,
Or no just means to get off my phone,
yeah,
because it's just they don't realize the value. So they're just saying no because they think that we're just telemarketers, because we all come across as telemarketers. And especially in the real estate business, I'm sure a lot of us are guilty of this. We say, do you want to buy or sell? Do you want commercial or residential?
yeah,
What's your budget? What's your area? And this. But rather, if we start off by giving value, we're not trying to take. We give first. Give, 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 give. You heard that phrase
yeah,
about give as much as you can, and empty your heart, empty your pockets out. Give as much as you can, and tomorrow it will come on its own, right?
yeah.
So try to work from a point of perspective of value, and give, 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 and don't ask. And they will see that you'll win their heart over, and they will want to give you business because you helped them out so much.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's exactly what we do for our
yeah,
realtor family members and partners.
yeah,
We give, 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 give. So then when it comes time, they do the same thing with their clients.
I mean, to understand that, because relationship is a big thing. Just because, like you said, no means maybe, and it's not like every realtor can come in and say, "Hey, listen, I got you a list of comparables." I mean, the realtor didn't make those comparables; they pulled it from the same list that every other realtor is, right? So
Hmm,
it's a matter of, do I trust you? If I trust you, then you can give me. You don't have to give me comparables. You could tell me that this house is worth this much, and I trust you. Even if you give me a comparable sheet that says otherwise, right? If you've got that
hmm,
trust, and it's getting to that trust that matters the
hmm.
most. Now,
You hit it right on. And if I rather got a list of MLS, and which only takes me a couple of minutes to print off, rather if I spent a good whole week and I found 5 off-market properties, I think 10 is too much in one week, but 5 off-market properties or things that are not on MLS, would I be able to earn your business? Of course, because now I've thought out of the box. I've provided you with solutions that other realtors don't have, and I've basically given you, forget 5, even 2. If I can provide you with, forget 2, even one off property, and it's not on MLS. First of all, we're guaranteed going to secure our commission on that because we have control of the deal. And secondly, we're thinking differently, whereas we didn't just print a report off. And now the client has a lot of respect for. They said, "Oh, you're not just one of those other agents. You really, really go out of your way. You did extra homework. You made meetings and
mm,
calls, and you brought to me something that is off market or a pocket listing." And I think that I see a lot of value in that. And I mean, a lot of us target new home buyers, but and they're a good demographic. Don't get me wrong; they're very good. But why not also go after investors? I would say, and I mean, Harris, you're a lawyer, so you see all these deals in and out. But my assumption is that at least half of the people, if not more, are wanting to buy a second and third property or an investment property. Everyone's not a first-time home buyer, right?
yeah,
So if we are targeting the investor that or the person who wants to diversify, how much easier is our life going to be? Because they already know they want to buy a second and third and fourth and fifth property. So if we can offer them value and offer them things that they haven't seen, and they get first right of refusal, or they get an option to have a look at it first. And now when we say to our client, "You're on my VIP list," we really mean that they're on the VIP list, because we just got them something that they didn't have.
Yeah. No, I mean, not to be provocative, but I feel like with a lot of brokers, and when they're going after first-time home buyers, it's more of a hit it and quit it mentality, because they want, like, they don't really think about that person any longer. When if real estate prices are going up, and why wouldn't, if somebody came to me and said, even if I'm not a sophisticated investor, actually that's when it matters the most, and said, hey, listen, you have equity in your house and you can take out some money, and instead of, like, blowing it on like TVs or whatever else, right, lines of credit, let's go buy a house, which will actually increase your net worth, right? I don't think there's a single person that would say no. If they can see what's happening in the marketplace, they wouldn't have said no. But it's like, I feel like a lot of brokers, once they got that deal, they don't know how to move them. There's a customer journey that you have for a specific transaction, and I feel like there's a higher customer journey that's throughout the trajectory of their life, where you can put them in different positions as you're setting them up, and their wealth kind of grows. And if I feel like if a realtor does, and I'm not trying to be hard on realtors, but I feel like if a realtor does their job correctly, their clients should never leave them for anybody else. If you're front of mind, and if you've built that proper relationship, there's no way that somebody else should be able to come in and trust them, or have them trust them more than they trust you. And that is something that takes time to build.
You said it right on. Bang, boom, boom, bang. Right? You said it right on. The fireworks just went off. So, I mean, if we have someone and we're trying to acquire leads, how much does it cost to generate leads? And it's very costly and time consuming. If we have an ambassador or someone that's on our side who's basically cheerleading us and there to support us from start to finish, and if we're a competent, well experienced, or even a well practiced realtor, it doesn't have to be years of service.
Yeah.
One can be in business for 2 3 years, but they could do 20 30 40 50 deals. So it's working the client. So yeah, your needs changed. You bought a home for the first time, and then, oh, you want to get an investment property. Let's go for that. Is it a pre-construction or is it a resale? What would you like, right?
Yeah.
um, so we really try to stay with our clients, and we should yield from them at least 3 to 5 deals, conservatively, in the sales cycle, versus thinking small-minded and just going after one deal and then forgetting about them. Right?
Yeah.
It's the timing has never been this right. In the next 6 months, as you can see, the interest rates are going to go up a little bit more. We all know that. We've heard of it, but I have a feeling it will go up. Um, the inventory might grow in the market, and the prices also might come down a pinch. So if the prices come down a pinch, not only will new home buyers get things within their budget,
Yeah.
but also investors will get a good chance to scoop up deals, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if they are able to hold it for a couple of years, and then and start, building their portfolio, I feel that they'll hit the jackpot if they can start building a portfolio of real estate.
I mean, yeah, I feel like now is the time. I know that there's a lot of like realtors who are like, you know what, the market's going bad, and what's going to happen next? Volume's going down, and my thought process is that means that you're not really informing your clients, because if you can get people to go into a bidding war, why can't you get them when prices are going down, and you have more information? You could put more conditions in. People should be
Oh
more
yeah.
engaged in the entire process. There's a saying that, like, my law professor, my bankruptcy professor, ironically enough, used to say about recessions and just downturns. He's like, that's when when the tide goes out, you know who's swimming without swimming trunks. And I feel like when that could be applied to this industry as well. So when the tide goes out, you'll see who the good brokers are and who are not. You can separate the grain of the grade of the broker is, you're going to see that now, and it's incredibly important for brokers to refine themselves, and for buyers to really find those brokers who know what they're doing, who are all about finding good deals and bringing that value to the table.
Yep, thinking outside of the box is the key to
Yeah.
being successful.
Yep. No, thank you for coming on the podcast. I could talk about this all day long. I had a list of other questions, right? That
I know
just because
this
of
is
time,
very,
we
very
can't.
engaging. Yeah.
Just
And it was a pleasure. It was really a pleasure. We just want to say one thing,
yeah.
that when we're working in business, we all have to work as a family and a team together, right? Um, no one person can work alone. If you think you can work alone, it might work for a short period of time, but and I'm not saying alone or as a team as a realtor. What I mean is working together as family. So working with Harris, and sort of networking and exchanging business back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
As we support your business, we also ask that you support our business, and vice versa, right? We help other carriers like home inspectors, um, lawyers. There's appraisers. There's so many different other options that we need to work as a team together, all of us. Um, and my model has always been that if you support someone and you give value with nothing in exchange, they're eventually going to help you grow your business. And
Yeah.
you can generate as many leads as you can, and you can think that you're going to generate 100, 200, 300 leads, but aside from that, if you're able to actually establish relationships, and you're able to actually win their heart over, I think long term, you'll be much more happier than just generating leads. Of course, generating leads is important, and it's a numbers game. But we have to start taking things more seriously, and we have to take our business to the next level. And through taking it to the next level, I feel that we need to treat our clients, our realtor family members, and our customers and clients, like take them seriously and treat them like VIP. That was one thing I would say, and to wrap it up.
No, I 100% agree. If anybody wants to contact Sonny, I'm going to leave his contact. I mean, depending on where you watch it, either it's below or on the side somewhere, but I'm going to have Sonny's phone and email address. His website's on the screen right now. Contact him if you want to have any questions about his brokerage or anything about real estate. Thank you again, Sonny.
Thank you so much, Harris. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to meeting again soon.